Okay, hello, my dear friends and colleagues. It's a real pleasure to have you both in here in this space that is virtual, but I feel you like you are in here. Maestra Sara Willis in Berlin and Maestro Libero Osher in Caracas, Venezuela. How are you doing?
We're good. We miss each other because we were just together 3 days ago. It's hard to believe, huh, Liba?
That's what I thought. I think, Sarah, what have you been doing? I
And
saw you yesterday. What
where are
happened?
you? I need to drink a coffee with you now or a Zulia. Oh, no, shouldn't talk about things like that.
Or Habacachapa, right?
Abacachapa, exactly. So, Gabby, what actually are we doing here?
Yeah, well, basically, since last Friday when you sent me the video about all those horn players on stage, 70 horn players. That's amazing. I don't know if that's a record. It's the first time you are gonna tell me more about that, but for sure it was so heartfelt. It was an emotion that I couldn't avoid because you can see people from this side, all the levels. So the inclusion, the equity, and the collaboration all the time is so great. That's why I think that most of the people in the whole world love you because you are all the time bringing people together, making that collaboration and making the communion because we as musicians and human beings need to be all the time connected. So thanks for that from the beginning. I want to say thank you for that, Sarah, because that makes you so special for all of us. But you are the one that is gonna tell us your insight, your impression. What do you feel in this second time in my dear country, Venezuela?
Wow. Well, thank you for that beautiful invitation, beautiful explanation of why we're here. And I'm honored, and this is really close to my heart. So that's when we had the idea to do this video. By the way, hi IHS. I'm so glad that you're all watching this. And also, we have to introduce you to Liber because Liber Osher is like. I must say, this week in Venezuela, last week in Venezuela, he was my horn hangout hero. I could not have done the last week in Venezuela without him. Liba, gracias con todo mi corazón. And
You're so welcome.
maybe explain before I start talking about how emotional it all was. Why don't you explain exactly what was planned, and then we'll tell them what really happened.
Okay, here we go. And like probably a month or a little bit more, I was contacted by the board of El Sistema and also the director, our mutual friend, Ronnie Morales, who is the director of the Conservatorio Itinerante Inocente Carreño, which is the institution that is in charge of bringing to Venezuela top players, musicians, and teachers to elevate the level of all of us here in El Sistema, and also as a kind of program so these top musicians around the world can see what's happening in Venezuela in a more deep level, so they can see personally what's going on here in Venezuela and how things work and what's beyond visible of and it's a so famous institution like El Sistema in the world, right? So this 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 Horn Week with Sarah Willis was part, or I may say, was the inauguration. Is the right word? It's the opening of a brass festival. Of a brass festival celebrating the 50th anniversary of El Sistema. So we wanted to make something very special with Sarah because not many times we have the opportunity for the horn community in Venezuela to participate and also be part of the opening of such an important thing like a brass festival in Caracas. So the idea of this was to make some master classes, but also some special thing that we need here in Venezuela, and it's about playing the horn in the orchestra, playing the horn in a horn section. What are the experience of Sarah, more than a horn player, but as a colleague in a horn section? How can I learn leadership tools from for making a better horn playing in an orchestra a better experience? Sorry for my English. I get a little
I'm happy
nervous.
to hear you speak. Liber is usually my translator, so I do my best in Spanish, but everybody laughs at it because I get past and present and future all mixed up. But your English is so impressive.
So the central part of this Horn Week was all about the children, because it's the essence of El Sistema, and many teachers around the world, they want to see how the little kids, how the young players, how they practice, how they get organized. What is a year of studying in a conservatory here in Caracas, or also how is the daily life? And I think as we speak in those days, Sarah, it was quite a nice experience for you this time to be in touch with 70 kids in a room, hungry of learning
nice
from
is
you.
Was one word for it. Yes. No, you're absolutely right. As a 70, they were really 70. They went from the professionals and old ones like Liber and Jose, and no, you're not old. And from the professional sections of the Simon Bolivar Symphony Orchestra and the Orchestra Sinfónica Juan José Landeta and the chamber orchestra. So we had the professionals, and then we had students from all over the country. Literally, kids had gotten onto buses and traveled 10 hours through the night to be there. I think sometimes in our modern world, on this side of the world, students really do not understand what students in countries like Latin America, in like Venezuela and also Cuba and places I've worked in, what lengths students will go to attend like a masterclass like that. You know, for us, we just go down the road in Berlin and there's plenty of good teachers, but it meant so much to so many people, which is a huge responsibility for me, of course. And you know, I felt like quite stressed a few times. I was like, what do I do with them? Because then the little ones came and they were like 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old, and they can't read music, and they not yet, but they know how to pick up their horn, and they wanted to play all the exercises. It was really a huge challenge, but it was amazing. And of course, I was told, do some master classes, talk about this and that and exercises. And in the end, we ended up with this incredible horn extravaganza with 70 horns playing on the stage all together in the Auditorio Simon Bolivar in Caracas. I think that was a first. I don't think we've never had that many horns there.
No.
As Gabby said, the emotion that night, and Liber, you had the same. When I saw the video, I was just in tears. And I think we're going to be able to share some of the video with the IHS viewers. So yeah, look out for some links for those, because it was very, very moving at the end. Can I just say something though? I promise I'll stop talking in a minute.
Yes.
Liber, you explained that that teachers like to come and see what's going on in Venezuela. Now, I know that a lot of the world think El Sistema is Gustavo Dudamel, a lot of mambo, a lot of, having fun on the stage, and a lot of students. But until you've been to a núcleo, and a núcleo is the center of music that's not just one, there's how many all over the country? 600s?
Maybe like 300. I think. I'm not sure about that, but it's around that number.
It's
yes,
around that
definitely.
number. I'm not sure either. We'll find out. But like there's 1 million kids in music education after schools. A lot of kids wouldn't have anywhere else to go. Until you've seen what happens in these núcleos, you do not understand what El Sistema is. And I will never, I went to 23 en enero, I think was was my first núcleo, a very, very difficult area. And I mean, there was not a dry eye in the house. I think everybody, though, who goes to these nucleos and see the shows, they have little kids, they have people with impaired vision, they have deaf people, they have, I mean, old, young, you name it. There's space for everyone in this system. And
Absolutely.
I've come under some criticism for having some, you know, because Venezuela is not an unchallenged country with political things and everything, but I focus completely on the children. And I think music education for children is a good thing, no matter where it is. And I'm just grateful that so many kids get this education. So that's why I'm so happy to come and be with you guys and be a part of this. It's also very good for me as a teacher over here to see this way of teaching, because the little kids start, and then once they've been teaching for once they've been learning for 3 or 4 months, they teach the new ones. So it like goes up and up and up like
Yes.
that. Explain, maybe you can explain just a little bit about that.
Yes, this is the thing. Some of the nucleos are very far away of what they call regional centers. Okay, so these academic regional centers, okay, they administrate all the nucleos that are in the zone, but they are tons of them. So when a nucleo is too far away and children have problems with transportation and all the problems that involve to go from one city to another. From 1975, 50 years ago, El Sistema, José Antonio Abreu, the great mind behind this amazing institution, he started to visualize how to reach every corner of the country. So this wasn't going to be possible with a formal education system like in Europe or America. We had to invent something by ourselves that could work. So how does it work? If you have a nucleo and you have 4 kids playing the horn, okay, one of them maybe is going to be a little more advanced, maybe more gifted, maybe he grasp on things of the horn technique more quickly than the others. So they ensure that he received enough support, okay, to keep I wouldn't say teaching the others, but it's like, Gabriela, ayúdame aquí en español. Encouraging them.
Yeah.
Yes. So eventually, I don't know exactly how much, but eventually they come from the nucleo to the regional academic center. They play in orchestras organized with people of the other nucleos, okay? And eventually, like every 2 years or 3 years, they organize national orchestras with infantile orchestras and also youth orchestras. And their dream of that kids that live so far, okay, their dream is to be capable of be part of this national selection of musicians that are taking part of a tour around the world, having the opportunity for working with Gustavo Dudamel, and also maybe participating in workshops in Caracas with teachers like Maestro Jose Jimenez or me or another teacher from the professional orchestras.
Exactly. How would you, Gabby? Were you part of El Sistema, or had you?
Yeah, everything that is telling about the system, how it works, is so true. I can remember I just started like on Monday. On Friday, it was my first concert. I didn't know what it sounds at the end, but I remember it was so fast. They say you have to play it. Okay, let's do it. For a kid that is only 11 years old, you feel, okay, this is something nice, that's something that you're doing. I don't have the expertise to say it was good, it was bad, but you are part of that big group. So make you feel part of those is a really good motivation for each kid that is part of the system.
And if you look at the video of one of our horn ensembles, you'll see standing right behind me 4 little young men. My really little ones couldn't read music, but they'd learned the pieces that we were playing. They learned them. They knew what was happening. They were called. The first one was Freischütz, the Hunter's Chorus, and they called that Yo-ho Tralala. The second piece was Brup Brup Brup, because that's all they got to play in Hansel and Gretel. Bum, 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 bum. That's all they played. And the third piece was Have a Cachapa. And I think you have to watch that to actually know what Libra is talking about. And that's how they called the pieces, because they didn't have music. And then they asked which one is coming now. And of course, when they said, ahora es Have a Cachapa, and they would beam, and you really concentrated, and they knew what they were doing. And at the end, I said to the horns, I said, we're not bowing, and anybody who's done a flash mob with me will know what I'm talking about. I said, we're not going to bow, we're going to do bells up. And these little ones, they use both hands, but they put their bells up, and it just, broke my heart. They were just fantastic. Yeah. But this is what this whole system, El Sistema, is about. And it's about inclusion and encouragement and performance. And it's not about, I mean, of course, they try and make you the best you can. But as you say, your first concert, you didn't know if it was good or bad. It was just being part of it.
And another thing that was very exciting this time is that, picture this. This kid that comes from very far away to El Centro de Acción Social por la Música, this kid comes and he is used to play with their friends in the núcleo, and suddenly he is in the most important hall in El Centro de Acción Social, playing along with one of the top players in the world, playing like his colleague or her colleague, and that's what we love of you, Sarah, is that you are so reachable, and this empowers so much. Is empowering so much these kids. For me, it was quite an experience to be able to play with a Berliner.
You were right in my downwind, weren't you? You were right.
Yes.
It wasn't without its challenges, because I must say, Gabby, as I said at the beginning, for me as a teacher, and also my philosophy about the horn is to make the best sound you can. And of course, in a room of 70, how can you tell who's making a nice sound or not? But there was a magical moment in Hansel and Gretel where Joshua Davis did all the arrangements for us. Thank you, Josh, if you're watching this. The horn world loves you. And in Hansel and Gretel, he wrote it for my horn section. And so the 8 horns, there's 8 soloists at the front, which are the Simon Bolivar, the Fila de Simon Bolivar, the section. And they play the first original bars of the Humperdinck Overture. We all know it. And then there's a magical moment, bar 9, where the tutti horns come in. And in the rehearsal, it was like, bah! It was like nothing magical about it at all. So we practiced risking how quiet can 70 people play. And in the concert, my heart almost burst. Wasn't that a magic moment where everyone came in and it was just...
Yes, it was.
Some people are better than others. Some people maybe missed some notes. Some people... But in that, everybody played so well. And they, as you said, they come from who knows where. And they've never been out of a little room in the Nucleo. Maybe they've played in their living room. They were standing on the stage, being filmed, and everybody had their mobile. That's the difference between here and Latin America. When you go, everybody's filming you, it's a huge pressure. But they were making for film. The El Sistema were filming it. And that's big stress. And then you got your peers all around you, and this horn player from Berlin who's been, teaching them and rehearsing with them all week, and their profas were there, their professors. I mean, really, to cada uno de mis cornistas venezolanos, I don't know how you say chapeau.
Me quito el sombrero. Yes.
El sombrero, exacto. Celebrate
Oh.
I have my
Oh,
mug,
nice.
my mug. And Gabby, I brought something for you because these kids, they every day they brought me things. Like one brought me
Oh,
some flowers, and then I got this.
oh.
And then
Sure.
one day somebody came and gave me that,
Oh, wow.
you know, and then the next day some kid brought me that from his lunch, you know.
Flips. Yes, they're great.
And then there's a bracelet and all sorts of horn stuff and I mean
Yeah,
really
I
like
like that. Oh.
unbelievable stuff. And to
Yeah.
celebrate you, Gabby, I hope you can.
Mhm. I can see that. I
I'm
can see
wearing
that.
Gabby Abada Margarita earrings. Da, 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 da,
Beautiful.
da.
That's usual. Wonderful. I watched the video you sent me. I was so great just to watch you playing with Pacho Flore,
Oh,
my daughter. Great. Amazing, amazing
a
performance.
career highlight. But then you see all these phones up filming you, and you think this is actually a historical moment because we've known each other online for a while. We've written messages and admired what we do. But it was the moment I met him in person in the hotel lobby, standing there. He's a lot taller than I thought he was. And it was just like, oh, and then standing with him on the stage, I felt like this is really a historical moment for me, you know, a total career highlight. Don't get nervous. And he'd sent me the music 3 days before. He said, Sarah, it's easy. I just put a horn part in. It's easy. I got this horn part.
Yeah.
Easy for Pacho.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I could see our friend Jose Jimenez.
Hey.
It was so beautiful and special to me when all of you played the Venezuela song. It was so, oh my God, no, this is the cherry of the cake, the top. No, it was so pretty.
They just threw that on me. They were like, okay, Sarah, here comes a quattro. Can you play, 8 bars of this piece? What piece? Yeah, this one, you know it. I was like, no, I don't know it. Just play it. Okay, whatever. And yes, it was, and the little kids, they knew what it was, and they made up. Oh, they played
Mhm.
that all the way through. They made that up themselves, didn't they, Liba?
Yeah, they are very creative.
That was very sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was very, very
And
touching.
I would say also that um, designing the whole show was quite right. It was a challenge
Yeah.
because we started with the ensemble of the Simon Bolivar Orchestra with Sara. Okay, then we had the Nomad Ensemble,
That's a
which
problematic
is a
name in English because in Espanol
yes,
it's nomada, but if I say it sounds like
Nomad.
nomata.
Yes, it's Nomad.
Yeah, but they were very good. That was good fun, the mambo with them.
Yes, but
Also,
while this was going on, Sarah wanted the kids to be in the public so they could enjoy the concert before they play. And after Pacho and Sarah, uh, the kids were so focused. I was afraid that that was going to be a mess, and
We
we
rehearsed
were
it. We
going
rehearsed it
to
twice.
wait an hour for that,
Oh
and
no,
that
no, no,
was
no. And also, I
incredible.
must say, the stage crew of the Sala Simon Bolivar, they are amazing.
Absolutely.
Really, everything worked. But the
Yes.
problem was now when you see the videos, it looks like no one's at our concert because the first 3 or 4 rows are completely empty because everyone was on the stage.
yeah.
Yeah, 70 people, 70 kids.
No, it was very special. And Gabby, thank you so much for featuring it in the IHS because there hasn't been much about Venezuela. And
Mhm.
it's also a little bit my mission. I brought the Havana horns to the IHS, and people realize what amazing horn players come out of Cuba. And I would really
Great.
like to do the same together with Liber. We would like to bring the Venezuelan
Yes,
horns. Either I think a mixture of Simon Bolivar and Nomada horns would be a very good mixture. And if they'll let me, I'd like to play
absolutely.
with them.
Yeah. You have to do that because I know that it's going to be really, really good when Venezuela and Cuba together in the best way, showing the best that we have.
I have to bring the Cubans as well. Good idea. Good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, why not?
Cubans really the hit of the IHS. Everybody loved them when they were
Yeah,
there. Remember the conga going all the way through the.
yeah, all the audience. Yeah, it was so great, so
We
great.
can do that, Libra, can't we? Thank you for all you do. Really, you are tireless in the IHS, and you're also the, you know, as we said, the most glamorous horn player we know. And, and I hope this will come out in the June issue. Thanks to Mike. Thank you, Mike, for letting us include this little report. And the IHS is quite soon, so I hope everyone has an amazing time.
Yeah,
sorry I can't be there.
1 month ahead. It's June 24th. We're going to be in Virginia, so it's going to be a really good time with
call me from there. I want
to for sure.
Take me for a walk.
Things from YouTube to show them there. So stay tuned, everybody. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Sarah, again for being our Latin American child, like adopted child. Yeah, you are adopted. You are our
thank you,
godmother. The godmother.
Madrina.
Madrina.
How about a cool sister? A cool Latin.
That's better.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for having us, Gabby, and lovely to see you, Liber.
Love to see you too. I mean, we have a rehearsal soon. When is tomorrow, Sarah?
Oh yeah. I'll see you in the sede in about
Yes. See you in a few minutes. Okay.
Well, bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, Gabriela.